Hi, Dana.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for speaking with me. The last season was something else, and so I wanted to say whether or not if you kind of feel that it was accurately portrayed. I know the production, has a way of framing things a certain way, and so for you, Jamie, first of all, do you feel that it kind of painted you in like a bad light or a bad husband?
Great question. I feel like however they edited it wasn't to exactly my liking, but I understand TV, and I feel like people with common sense who watch reality TV understands production, and us as the cast have to clock in the work, so to speak. So when we're in these scenes, we're gonna give you TV. You know what I mean? When I'm not on TV, I'm me. So I mean, people that know me in real life, they like, I would never think you put your hands on your wife or whatever else people were saying. So I mean, it's TV. I can't try to make millions of people understand reality TV and all that. I mean, they gonna whatever they saw in them 3 minutes, there was 2 hours, then good for you.
Okay.
I think
sorry.
No, I think for me, I was portrayed a little more timid, like the wife that just sit back and just let him talk to me any kind of way, when it's clearly not like that at all. So Jamie and I have conversations, and I win most of them. I win most of our disputes.
The funny thing is, I really don't try not to argue with her, but we're on TV. I can't just be like, all right, you're right. Ain't like, that's all you would say? Yeah, but it's TV. It's good TV.
It is good TV. And one of the things that was said though, was that Jamie said that I created the person you see today. So do you kind of regret saying that? Also, Erana, was that something that was wrongfully kind of taken out of context? Because it kind of feels like, oh, I created you.
So let me go first. When I said that, she knew exactly what I was talking about. Anybody that knew us back in 1993 to now knows exactly what I was talking about. I came out on TV. I've said since, I probably worded it wrong, but and I've said, I believe I said in season 2, what I was saying, Raina was a child of a government employee who get up, go to work, and come home. That's it, 9 to 5. I was the one who was pushing her into the entrepreneurial world. I was supporting her entrepreneurial endeavors. I was funding them. So when I say the boss you see today, she wasn't pursuing being a boss back in those days. And today she's a self-made millionaire from entrepreneurial endeavors, from my support, whatever word you want to use, and that's what I was talking about. And she said exactly how she interpreted it after I said it on TV, but you don't see that part, but she can explain that.
Right, well, it was definitely taken out of context. And when we had the reunion and he did say that, I did tell him that was after the fact. It was a terrible choice of word, because people were like, oh no, God created her. You didn't create her. Why would you say that? But I agree when we were on the reunion, because I knew exactly what he was saying. He did support me. He did help mold me into the entrepreneur that I am today. So when I agreed to it, I knew exactly what he was saying. I'm not saying he created me, but he did. He was the person who put me out there when I didn't want to be out in the entrepreneurship. So I give him all the kudos, just for being that person who pushed me out there to be who I am today.
Right. So season 1 was kind of trial by fire. Now with season 2, what have you learned from that you'll kind of navigate much better? Is it communication, or is it not arguing in front of cameras, or more arguing? How does that work?
Well, we're going to argue because it's real. We almost 27 years coming up on the 11th. So we're going to have our arguments. I mean, it's just what it is with marriages. Marriages are not perfect. And we're not going to bite our tongue, and we're not going to say we're not going to argue and be real in front of the cameras, because we're not going to do that. But, you're going to see a different side of me hopefully without, no editing happens. But to see a different Raina from season 1 to season 2 as far as our relationship goes.
And I think for me, what the audience didn't know season 1, that I was a 25-year law enforcement detective. And I didn't really want to be bothered with reality TV for that reason. And I didn't want to come on here. I was trying to be perfect. I was just trying to just get to retirement and support her dream of being on TV. And it backfired. So when you don't give them your true self, they're going to make you a character. And I think that's what we saw season 1, where because I was not really trying to get into the foolishness of reality TV and the bickering and the drama of it all. You see me more laid back, and she's like, oh yeah, back in the day, he fell asleep at night. And I'm like, why would you bring that up? But that's what they want. You know what I mean? You want to know the dirt and the this and the that for reality TV. And in the beginning, I really wasn't for that. And coming from where I'm from in DC, we don't do that. We don't talk about stuff like that in front of people we don't know. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, y'all figure it out. I'm not talking about what I did 15 years ago in 2022. Like, we survived it. We good. Why am I bringing that back up? So season 2, I am retired now. I talk about that. And I talk about why I am like I am, why I'm zero nonsense to foolishness. You know what I mean? Like with my son, with our peers, if I don't like it, this season you're gonna know it. And I really don't care now because I don't work no more. I'm like, I don't care if you don't like it. Like, it is what it is. This is why I'm like that, like it or not.
I told him we first got the call to be on reality TV, to be on Love and Marriage DC. I said, we can't come on here and fake and act like we have a perfect marriage. Because some people do that. Oh, we're going to be on TV. We have to act a certain way because of the audience going to judge us. I said, no, we're going to be real. I said, we're having issues. We're having an argument. We're going to keep it real. I said, because people are going to talk about you and they're going to know it's fake because no relationship and no marriages are perfect. So we're going to give you the real. They edit the way they edit it, but, we argue just like everybody else. We have disagreements just like the family argues, the kids are arguing, everybody's arguing, we keep it at 100% real in our house.
And I think also with the scenes with when I touched her face and the part you just said about creating, like what I learned from the rookie season, yeah, there's some stuff that they can't edit and make it look however they want. So going into season 2, I understand that more. So what I give you in season 2, I meant it, and they edit however they want, and I don't care. Before, I was more so like, when she was fussing in that scene, I just was trying to calm her down, like, I'm talking to you. I didn't think it would be like, oh my God, he's beating her up there. I'm like, what? You got that out of that? So now, if I'm gonna grab her face, and y'all gonna talk about, I'm gonna do it. So it's gonna be like, that's what I meant to do, and that's what, now what? But that time I was like, she wasn't even fussing at me. So why would y'all spin it like I grabbed her face like I'm beating her? Like, it just didn't make sense.
And still today, the social media trolls are still saying, oh, he's beating his wife. Oh, she gets knocked upside the head. So they're still running with that.
Yeah.
Terrible. One of the things that was really interesting was the whole winter situation. We do know that winter is coming back again. Do you feel that from what you learned from the first season, you'll handle her much differently in the second season?
It depends on the situation. Winter and I were trying to bond in season 1, the middle of the season, and it just didn't work out. She went back to doing winter and we just couldn't get along. And it just depends on the situation. When we first started out in season 2, definitely it picked up from last season. In real life, Winter and I and Jamie, we just wasn't friends. We're not friends. It is what it is. We had the social media wars after filming. So outside of filming, there were still things going on between Winter, Jamie, and I. And we just could not get along. I blocked her from social media. He did as well. She did. And then as the season 2 starts, it's picking up from season 1 and whatever happened between our relationship. But you just have to stay tuned. It may work itself out, it may not. I just can't say.
Okay. Can you say whether or not the receipts are invisible?
You have to wait and see.
Wait and see. Okay.
It's gonna pick up from season 1. So season 2, receipts or not, y'all gonna see all that stuff in season 2.
Okay. And first of all, congratulations on being retired. I was wondering, as a police officer, do you feel that that's kind of where you got your characteristics of, show no emotion, I'm remaining a man, and, I don't show what it is I'm actually feeling. And now that you're retired and kind of transitioning into a different lifestyle, how does that work with kind of opening up more?
So that's a great question, and you hit it right on the head. Season 1, I was still working, and I would not be on TV showing a weak man. No way, shape, or form. And I saw a lot of the comments. He was either law enforcement or military. I used to see that, and I'm like, that's somebody who get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't grow up and say I'm gonna be on reality TV at 50 years old. This is how the world is now. It's just like, if somebody find your life interest, they gonna pitch a show to you, and here we are. So now I'm still a 25-year DC police officer, and people watching the show know me in real life, and I'm not gonna be on TV, just being anything other than who I am. And I was raised by a tough Washingtonian who instilled, tough love. It is what it is, So what you see on TV is, I have emotions, but I've seen so much death and crime and anything else you can think of that nobody watching this show would understand unless they were in law enforcement. So you can't tell me how to react, or when I raise my voice, or whatever it is. You can't tell me. You didn't live this life that I just lived. You seen out 45 minutes of edited 2-hour footage. So yeah, that's a great question. I definitely show more emotions now that I'm free, and you get real authentic me this season.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, both of you, for speaking to me.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.